Good morning, everybody. It's January 20th, 2024. And yes, we get listed for speaking the truth. But I want to show you a little evidence, and this is not something that is new. Well, I should say it is new with these pair of gloves. But this has been going on for years and years. These gloves were purchased a couple of months ago. They're not the only gloves that I wear, and I washed them once and I put them down in my hallway here, and yesterday this is what they look like. I'm going to show you. They scrape the tips, right here. I mean, you could see they're new gloves. Purchased a couple of months ago. And no, I didn't do this. And actually, this is my left hand, right? This is my left hand. So yeah, so this is what the criminals do. They destroy all my clothing. So anyway, yes, we're watch listed for speaking the truth and amongst other things, but on Quora, somebody posed a question. Have there been any documented cases of individuals being targeted as targeted individuals, quote unquote, without any valid reason? Before I get to the response, please hit the thumbs up. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, exposing one criminal at a time. So the question is, have there been any documented cases of individuals being targeted as targeted individuals without any valid reason? And the person responds, there's no valid reason. It's illegal. Simple as that. Victims are led to believe that it's either a punishment or necessary monitoring due to past quote-unquote bad behavior or potential like future bad behavior. But in reality, that's just nonsense. And victims are targeted either by a person or people who would benefit financially from the victim dropping out of business or signing over a business or property, or who have life insurance, etc. I do not believe that the majority of V2K cases really are gang stalking. I believe that's what the operator or perp wants you to believe, or the handler, because it's beneficial to them to manipulate you. For example, a group of people trying to convince you of something versus one person. A group mocking and laughing at you versus one person. It's just more effective. However, I believe that there are people who are just in the wrong place at the wrong time. These are people who are just quote-unquote convenient to implant. People needed to be sedated or anesthetized because a number of victims have been told, quote-unquote, this is not personal. So I think there are, quote-unquote, test subjects out there, probably many, perhaps the majority. I can attest to the fact that I am a test subject, and I can prove it. I can definitely prove it, but we're not going to discuss all that here. And a lot of you guys can prove it. The testimony that I posted last night, which is one of two, had proven that he incurred assaults to him physically that resulted in quote-unquote Havana syndrome. Okay. Now, this is happening across the country, and this man is a world traveler, so it's following him wherever he goes. Now, one person responds that it's a government-run program. There's an entity of our government that have gone rogue. And the person responds, you are precisely on point with your answer. One person responds, the reason for these programs is now clear to me. Our nation has been developing these programs to compete with other nations. It's a perfect way to have a Cold War that cannot be proven. We are the test subjects. Whoever can take over the mind and leave no trace will be the world power. They are looking to push the target to suicide as quickly as possible without a trace. The mind is the new battlefield, and the 20 richest people in the world orchestrate the whole thing. If you really think about it, it makes perfect sense. This will one day solve the real issue, and that, of course, is population control. It's either us or our resources or both. We cannot continue the track that we are on. It is horrible in so many ways, but it's also the best solution. That's a response. My response is obviously that targeted people are set up. Most are whistleblowers, divorced single women, result of a divorce, pissing someone off, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, a revenge for hire. This is a hit list for sure. You get on somebody's bad side and they are in the know about the program, they will quote unquote nominate you. And because it's beneficial financially, it's beneficial to get rid of the competition if you are a threat to somebody else's business or somebody else's what's the word, the way they do business compared to the way you do business. So let's say you come into the cat rescue field like myself, and I have a different way of handling feral cats and socializing them. I don't believe there's no such thing as a community cat. That big feral cat foundation, nonprofit that says, oh, they're community cats on their website. There's no such thing as a community cat. A cat's either owned by someone, they're either a house cat, an indoor-outdoor cat. Somebody dumps the cat, which makes the cat homeless, or a cat is born outside and is feral. There's no such thing as a community cat. You want to call it a community cat so that you can trap them, get them spayed and neutered and vaccinated and throw them back out in hopes that maybe somebody takes care of them. But we all know that 30%, a whopping 30% of all of the TNR, trap, neuter, return victims die. Why do they die? Many reasons. A lot of these rogue rescue groups are only in it for the money. They get grants and they get money to trap as many cats as possible, get them spayed, neutered, and vaccinated. And many of these criminals, and they are criminals, will throw a female spayed cat, could be a kitten, it could be an adult, will throw them back out in the woods outside with no recovery time, sometimes the same day. That cat is still recovering from anesthesia. If they were trapped outside, it is extremely traumatic, especially if they were trapped by somebody that they do not know. Imagine. They're thrown back outside with nobody to take care of them, and many will die. They get infected. A female hysterectomy is a major surgery for a cat. In fact, any vet that you go to, if you're not bringing a feral cat, you're bringing a house cat and you're getting them spayed for the first time, will give you a little sheet of paper that tells you the protocol and how long of a recovery time it is. And it's usually between 10 and 12 days. I don't really know any rescue person that recovers a female feral cat for that length of time. At the most, it's 3 days and they throw them back out. Unlike me, I was the one that would keep a feral cat mom for that long to allow her to recover and for her stitches to heal or disappear. And usually then I can determine whether or not that cat should go back or whether or not they should be adopted or socialized to be an indoor cat. There's no way to know that the first day that you're performing surgery on them. So that's why 30%, perhaps more now, get thrown back and die. So no, there's no such thing as a community cat. So I could see why I would be targeted by the feral cat cartel in New Jersey for having a different mission, and one that is based on facts. So anyway, some more comments here on the question as to whether or not there have been documented cases of individuals being targeted individuals without a valid reason. Somebody responds just this past week, it is a website on the dark net. Hello, you know this. The harassment only happens after an active relapse from my past alcoholism addiction to drugs, this person says, but they still follow me around constantly. This is a gentleman responding just a few hours ago. Another person says, well, I already know what they do. They try to use all kinds of SHIT on me, and it doesn't work. It won't work because I'm so pissed off that it could ever work. If they want to depopulate, then they should just off themselves. I have been through every bad scenario possible, and I'm still going, and I'll continue to go because I'm a hillbilly man, so I can live in the woods and be okay. And when you grow up without money, you know how to survive without it. So it doesn't matter what they do. But what I'm going to say is that they're all effing up by continuing to F with me, because the more they F with me, the more I'm determined to bring them down. Oh, this is a female. This is a female writing this. You go, girl. Okay, so those are the Q&A from Quora. The question was, have there been any documented cases of individuals being targeted as targeted individuals without any valid reason? And yeah, we're watch listed for speaking the truth, but we're watch listed for, or listed for, any number of reasons. I really believe that it is a silent hit list. Somebody doesn't like you, you piss them off. They know that they can get away with it. They know that they can make some money on the side, make some money off of it, get rid of you, discredit you. They'll nominate you for the list. And what better person to do it than a feral cat cartel or a bunch of attorneys? Oh, and just for the record, the very big feral cat cartels, the very big nonprofit animal organizations, they all have staff lawyers. Okay, just so you know, with your donations, they employ attorneys that they keep on staff. And sometimes they have more attorneys than accountants. They've got more attorneys than secretaries. They've got more attorneys than people out there actually doing the work. It's just a big marketing thing, a way to line their pockets, get your donations, prey on little old ladies that love cats. And yeah, that's how that works. There's no such thing as a community cat. So yes, there are many documented cases of targeted individuals being targeted for profit. There are many documented cases out there that targeted people are targeted for experimentation, covert experimentation, non-investigative subjects on the watch list. They're targeted because they inherited money. They're targeted because of a lengthy divorce. They could be targeted just because they married a cop. And the cop is like, and they get divorced, and the cop is like, oh, no, I'm not gonna be dissed by my ex-wife. I'm gonna put her on a hit list. And yeah, that does happen. And, you know, the list is endless. You guys have told me that a lot of targeted people excelled in whatever area of work that they were in. And what happened was, it could be a coworker, it could be a boss, felt threatened by your success, by your work ethic, felt threatened. So when people feel threatened, they overreact. They can overreact if they're immature. They know about the program. They can nominate you. They want to get rid of you. They want to get rid of the threat. What causes them to feel threatened? and they'll place you on a list. It's a slow takedown. So, so that's that. And I want to thank openly, and I will record part 2, Adrian Cullum, for that stellar written testimony. Let's see. Let me just pull it up here. So I hope everybody's doing well. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. It's almost 2 p.m. on Saturday. My computer, again, is really slow, and I know exactly when it started to act up again. It was doing really well. And then after my interview with VRL, after it was posted, and I spoke about some stalker creature, suddenly my laptop was acting up. So yes, and Pigs Might Fly by Adrian Cullum. If you didn't listen to it, it is an hour long. It's not completed. I'm going to start again from page 15. I ended up at the beginning of page 15. It was just over an hour, folks. I mean, I had another 5 pages to read, but I just didn't have time. And you have no idea that, you know, talking for an hour straight, reading and talking for an hour straight is, you know, when you're targeted and you're being harassed and you've been shoveling snow, it was a little bit much. I needed to end at the hour mark. But thank you for everybody who listened to part 1. I will do part 2 later today. In fact, I might even do it after I upload this one, because it's only 5 more pages, maybe 5.5 pages left. And also, if there is somebody out there, and maybe even you, Adrian, or somebody who is very savvy about this, when I upload part 2, and I don't know how to do this, I'm not technically adept the way some people are. I know that other people have been able to do with my videos in the past where I've had a part 1 and part 2, and they've been able to combine them together in one video. If you have that ability or know how to do that, you know, please contact me, because I would like for part 1 and part 2 to be in one video if possible. Otherwise, I'm going to be listing it as part 2 later today. So yes, so that is and Pigs Fly by Adrian Cullum. He left his LinkedIn account URL and his Vimeo account with albums with photos in there, some of which he claims you know, were altered or stolen. I mean, we all know how that happens. And this was it's a disclaimer that I typed in the description section, that this is a historical account intended to serve as his testimony about the events described if he cannot give it in person. And this is a very smart thing that Adrian did, because this is very, very important. This man is being tortured, harassed, followed across the world, horrific events, just like you, just like me. And we need to document it. We can't allow these people to continue doing this without exposure. There needs to be a record. You know, just the way Edward Snowden talks about a permanent record, we need to create a permanent record. And since we've been told that everything that we type on the internet is permanent, get your words out there. Don't let anyone tell you, don't let anyone gaslight you. Don't let anyone tell you that the program doesn't exist. We know historically that the U.S. has been experimenting on their population for decades. Decades. Every war, the soldiers have been experimented on. Every war regime, people have been experimented on. Foster children, the prison population, the mentally ill, everybody's been experimented on, and now they're doing it to regular people. And that creature, Noah Harari, of the World Economic Forum, the world leaders, what do they call them? They have these select young world leaders or whatever. What a psychopath. Oh, everybody's going to be hooked up to a computer. Oh, there's no more individuality. No, no, no. No more individuality anymore. Is he talking about himself? Or just all of us? So anyway. I'm going to leave on that happy note. The sun is shining today in eastern Kentucky. It's a little bit warmer, but I'll tell you guys, we had more snow. And it's as if anything that I shoveled a couple of days ago was completely covered over again. It's like I did not shovel at all. The birds are not happy, but at least the sun is out. Get some sunshine, maybe melt some of this stuff. But how's it doing by you guys? I'm going to sign off for now. Hope everybody's doing well.